beautiful people. Hello and welcome to the stream. Who do we got in here first tonight? We got Ava, we got Gamer, we got Sky. What is up, guys? We got Sim. What's up, guys? Welcome. So tonight we got an interesting stream in store for you. We're going to be talking about specifically obsession, right? Now, I do want to say, let me turn this music down just a little bit. That was really loud. I do want to say, there's probably a lot of people out there who believe that this stream is not going to apply to them, right? There's a lot of people out there who probably believe that there's no way this stream applies to me. I don't deal with intrusive thoughts, Wonder Bro. I deal with mostly physical symptoms, right? Probably a lot of people out there with that mindset. So if that is you, I urge you to just stick around, hang out for a little bit, hear me out, right? Hear me out. We're going to talk about it. Obsession plays a huge role in sensitization and nervous illness, right, as Dr. Claire Weeks put it. Whether you believe that applies to you or not, I promise you, obsession absolutely applies to you if you are here on this channel, right? Second fear, it's all the same thing. Obsession, second fear, all the same thing. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Do not think to yourself that this stream is somehow not going to apply to you, because I can promise you it is going to apply to you. So outside of obsession there, I've got wrote down no free passes, man. No free passes. That is going to be the topic of tonight's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. How's everybody in chat doing? Sky, how are you doing? Gamer, how are you doing? How you guys doing? Ava, how's everybody doing tonight, man? What'd you guys do today? I got semi-good news. There was a mass found on my shoulder. I can chill on that front. I'm not even going to attempt to read what that says. I'm going to chill on that front. Well, I'm glad you got some good news, Sky. Welcome to the stream, dude. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good day. Welcome. We're going to give it just a minute here, guys, and then we'll get rolling. Let me send out very quickly some notifications. We are live. I'm also going to drop the Discord link real quick. A good way to get notified on the stream, guys. Assuming this link works, a good way to get notified on the streams if you're always missing the live streams. Join us over on the Discord, man. I try to drop notifications every time that we go live over there, so join us over there, man. Join us. Let me drop that in the chat there. There we go. Okay. Rick, what's up, dude? What's up, Rick? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing fantastic. I can have it surgically removed and some metalwork removed from my wrist at the same time. Okay. Keep us updated, Sky. Keep us updated. Stream looking super clean, HD. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was well worth the upgrade, man. It was well worth it. I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, I don't know how dropping all this cash on this new webcam will turn out, because webcams promise a lot of things. They promise a lot of things they usually don't deliver, but this one I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. All right, guys. Let's see. I'm going to drop that link one more time for anybody who might want it. Send out one more notification, and then I believe we can go ahead and get rolling, man. No need to wait around any longer. All right, guys. Let's get this music out of here. Tony, what's up, Tony? How you doing, dude? Hope you're doing fantastic, man. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's get rolling, guys. Let's get into it. So tonight we're going to be talking about obsession, no free passes. What's up, Grease? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. We're going to be talking about obsession, no free passes, right? No free passes. That is the topic of tonight's stream. So where do we begin with this topic? Like I said, when this stream first started, I said that there's probably going to be a lot of people out there who somehow believe that this stream does not apply to them, right? And the reason I said that is because there is a lot of people who falsely believe that they are allowed to get away with what we call obsession on certain topics, on certain subjects, but they are not allowed to get away with obsession when it comes to their anxiety symptoms or their intrusive thoughts. So what I see happen quite often is somebody will say to me, hey, I'm working on my obsession towards my physical symptoms, for example. I'm trying not to obsess so much about those. When I notice myself obsessing about physical symptoms, I use that accepting inner voice and I get on with it. But that same person is still doing a ton of obsession on other topics that they feel like are important and that they can get away with. So I see a lot of people say things like, you know what, Wonder Bro, I'm really working on my obsession towards my physical symptoms, but I notice I'm really stressed. I'm thinking a lot about this thing that's going on in my life or that thing that's going on in my life. I'm really obsessed and worried about this thing or that thing. And I say, look, there is no free passes. And here's what you've got to understand, guys. You must understand this. Your brain is a machine, man. It is a machine. It doesn't discriminate. If you are obsessed about something in a negative manner, right? If you're doing negative obsession towards any topic, any and all topics in your life, there's no free passes. You're still hurting your nervous system. You are still absolutely 110%, no doubt about it, hurting your nervous system. So a lot of people out there are going through recovery, right? They're like, okay, I need to stop worrying so much about my physical symptoms of anxiety. But they're not connecting the dots when I say things like, look, you cannot afford negative obsession over any topic in your life, over any subject in your life, whether it be your physical symptoms, whether it be something going on in your life that you think is justified. No, it's not justified, right? Obsession is never justified. And I'll tell you why. Again, it comes back to what I just said. Anytime you are doing a negative amount, a certain negative amount of obsession, it doesn't matter what the topic is. Your brain is a machine. It doesn't discriminate. It's still going to hurt your nerves. Your brain, and I'll put it to you like this. It's almost laughable, and it makes you realize a lot of things when I put it like this. Do you think your brain, right, guys, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think your brain is chilling up there inside of your skull and it says to itself, wait a minute, my person has not been obsessing about their physical symptoms as much here recently, but they have been obsessing about this thing going on in their life. But because they haven't been obsessing about their physical symptoms, right, I'm going to give them a free pass on the obsession about that thing going on in their life. No, your brain doesn't have that conversation. Right? Your brain does not have that conversation with itself. It does not discriminate. If you're doing any kind, right? And let me repeat that. If you're doing literally any kind of obsession for prolonged periods of time, negative obsession for prolonged periods of time, it does not matter what the content is. I say that a lot here on the channel. It does not matter what the content of your obsession is. You are hurting your nervous system. I'm going to say that one more time because it is so crucial. You absolutely must let this sink in. It does not matter what the content of your obsession is, whether it's about your physical symptoms of anxiety, whether it's about intrusive thoughts that you're having, whether it's about your life, whether it's about your significant other, whether it's about your job, whether it's about your work, whether it's about your bills. It does not matter what the content of your negative, prolonged obsession is. It is hurting the nervous system. It is hurting the nervous system, right? One more time. I know I've already said it twice, but this is so crucial. And if you guys do not register this, it's going to make your journey so much more difficult. You must register this. It does not matter what the content of your obsession is, whether it's about your physical symptoms of anxiety, whether it's about your intrusive thoughts, or whether it's about your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your life, your job, your work, your living situation. If you do prolonged periods of negative obsession, you are going to hurt your nervous system. right? And now I know what the next question is going to be. It's going to be, are we not allowed to experience stressful situations in our life? Of course you are. That's a part of being human. You're going to experience stressful situations in your life. But are you allowed to obsess about them for prolonged periods of time and go down that rabbit hole? No, you're not allowed to do that, right? The two worlds, people don't realize this, but you can absolutely live your life and experience a ton of stressful situations and not do the obsession part. People think they go hand in hand. Like, oh, if I'm going to experience stressful situations, I'm going to do a bunch of obsession. No, that doesn't have to work that way. That's just what you got used to. That's just how you've been living life for however long. And where has that gotten you? It's gotten you here on my channel with a sensitized nervous system, right? So before anxiety even became a big dominant force in your life, you were probably a very obsessive person. How many people in the chat can agree with that, right? So this stuff, this obsessive nature that you've had probably for your entire life has led you to where you are now. So no, you cannot afford to get away with obsession just because it's about something stressful in your life. No, you cannot afford to get away with prolonged periods of obsession because it's about your husband or your wife or your living situation, whatever. Work on those things, right? Take positive action. Take action to remedy the situations in your life, but you can't do the obsession, right? People don't realize that you can live that way. You don't realize it. You don't even know that you can live that way, but you can. You can take positive action to remedy certain situations in your life, right? You can make positive choices. You can take action while also not doing the obsession at the same time. That is a possibility. That can happen, right? And that's what we're trying to get you to do. Because again, you cannot afford prolonged periods of negative obsession over any topic, right? Not only does the obsession not do anything, it doesn't remedy anything, but also it's hurting your nervous system. So I think there's still a rather large group of people out there that falsely believe that they are allowed to obsess over certain topics, but they are not allowed to obsess over other topics. You're not allowed to obsess over any topic, right? You can take action to remedy situations in your life. You can think about what needs to be done, a healthy amount of thinking, but to fall down negative obsession that doesn't serve you, you don't get any free passes, right? You don't get any free passes. So what do you do then? Well, let's put that into example. You guys know I love examples. Let's see. Let me come up with one right off the top of my head here. Let's say you are behind on your bills, right? I don't know. Let's just say that you are behind on your bills. You really got to come up with a solution, whether that is borrowing money, whether that is, whatever. You've got to come up with a solution because you are very behind on your bills. Okay, you can work on coming up with solutions towards that. Okay, maybe I could call this family member, that family member. Maybe I could ask for more hours at work. You can brainstorm and come up with healthy solutions to your problem. But if you sit there and you obsess, right? The mind says, oh, if you don't come up with a solution to this, you're going to lose everything, right? If you follow that thought, just like you would follow an intrusive thought about anxiety, right? If you follow that and go down the rabbit hole and you start fighting with that, you are going to hurt your nervous system just as much as you would hurt your nervous system if you went down the rabbit hole about a thought about your symptoms. Or if you went down the rabbit hole about a thought about going crazy or whatever, right? An intrusive thought. If you go down the rabbit hole of negative obsession over any topic, it is going to have just as much of an effect on your nervous system, right? Especially now that you are sensitized, it's going to have just as much as an effect on your nervous system as any other topic would. So I understand why people kind of falsely believe that some topics are okay to obsess about and some are not, but that just couldn't be any further from the truth. Think about it for a second, guys, right? Your brain is a machine. Do you think your brain actually cares what your obsession is about? It doesn't. Obsession is obsession. Negative obsession is negative obsession. It doesn't care if it's about a symptom. It doesn't care if it's about a crazy what-if thought. It doesn't care if it's about your bills. If you go down the negative rabbit hole of obsession about anything, you are going to have a negative impact on your nervous system. So you should be using the non-engagement advice, right? The accepting inner voice, on any topic, on every topic, on all topics. Doesn't matter what the topic is. So the next time you find yourself down the rabbit hole obsessing about a certain topic that you think is justified, that you're allowed to get away with, that you can afford to get away with, you're not. You're not allowed to get away with that, and you cannot afford to get away with that. Your brain doesn't care. Obsession is obsession. It doesn't care what the topic is. And a lot of you are here today because you got sick with tired nerves to begin with because of your obsessive nature. You probably started, and I know this doesn't apply to all cases, but you probably started with your anxiety journey because you were so obsessed about something else going on in your life. And you were just a really obsessive person. You've always been a really obsessive person and worried, right? So if you think about it like that, your anxiety problems started because you were obsessing about topics that were not anxiety related, right? Is it starting to click? Is it starting to make sense that you can't afford to get away with this habit anymore? Even if it's not on topics about anxiety, you still can't afford to do the negative obsession, right? So you should be applying your non-engagement voice, right? So let's say you are in a financial situation and your mind says something like, oh, well, if you don't come up with this, you're going to lose everything. You should not engage with that. You should not engage with that. You should use a non-engagement statement. You should say, hey, whatever happens, happens. You said, hey, we'll see what happens, right? You should not go down the rabbit hole of what's going to happen if you lose everything. You can work on your business. You can work on taking out a loan. You can work on doing something to help yourself while staying out of the rabbit hole at the same time. Those two worlds can coexist. You can help yourself and take care of life situations while staying out of the rabbit hole, right? So let's give another example here. Let's say somebody has a thought that says, oh, I've really got to work on my anxiety or else my spouse is going to leave me, right? If you engage with that thought and you start obsessing, oh, what'll happen if my wife leaves me and my husband leaves me? If you start engaging with that, you're hurting your nervous system. You are hurting your nervous system 110%. It doesn't matter what the topic is. Content is irrelevant. If you engage in negative obsession and go down these rabbit holes, you are hurting your nervous system. And isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic, like for that example or many other examples, somebody says, well, I need to engage with that thought that says, oh, if I don't get my shit together, my wife's going to leave. I need to engage with that, Wonder Bro, because it's important. But the more you engage with that and go down these rabbit holes of negative obsession, the further you become from getting to healing. That's the irony here, guys. That's the irony. People justify their obsession by saying, I have to obsess about this because it's quote unquote important. But then I'm here to tell you that A, obsession doesn't accomplish anything. It actually makes you worse off trying to come up with a decision. And B, it takes you further away from recovering. So the irony is you try to justify your obsession by saying it's important and it's important to your recovery. But the more you obsess, the further away from recovery you become. The further away from recovery you get, right? Do you see the irony here? You cannot afford to obsess over anything in your life, right? It doesn't help. Obsession doesn't get you any closer to a solution, and it also just hurts your nervous system. So when you get prompted by your mind to say, to follow these thoughts and go down these rabbit holes, oh, blah, 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 and you try to justify it by saying, oh, yeah, that's important, so that's justified. I can get away with the obsession. I'm here to tell you, you can't get away with the obsession, right? So, again, a lot of you ended up here to begin with because of your obsession. A lot of you ended up here because you started obsessing in your life pretty early on about things that weren't even anxiety related, but that broke your nervous system down, and then you become sensitized, and then you started obsessing about sensitization, right? Don't you see that from the very beginning you've had this problem? Don't you see that from the very beginning this has been the issue? Don't you see that your obsession, even if it was about things that were not anxiety related, is what has made you sick? Don't you see that you can't afford it? Don't you see that there is no free passes anymore, right? This is what made you ill to begin with, guys. So for people to tell me that, look, Wonder Bro, I'm working on not engaging with my intrusive, crazy thoughts. I'm working on not engaging with obsession about my physical symptoms, but I'm still very much obsessed about other things in my life. That doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I'm glad you're working on it Don't get me wrong. Can the nervous system heal itself over time? If you're willing to do your part, if you keep doing the thing that is sensitizing the nervous system, it's going to be really difficult for your nerves to pull it together. I'm not saying that your nerves can't heal themselves, but if you're up there not doing the work and you're stressing your nervous system out 24/7, you're going to make it a lot more difficult on your nervous system to heal themselves. Your nervous system always wants to heal itself. You just got to get out of the way. The nervous system always is willing to heal itself, but if you're doing the same shit that sensitized it to begin with, it's going to make it a lot harder. It's going to make it a lot harder. So yes, the nerves absolutely will heal themselves, but you gotta really do your part, right? You gotta really do your part, and it's not as complicated as it sounds. We're on here talking about how when these thoughts come in, don't follow. Don't open the door. Just say, hey, maybe it is what it is, right? They're going to come with intense feelings too. And with those intense feelings, you got to stay out of the obsession. You got to say, you know what? Tired nerves. You got to do your part and stay out of the obsession, which is what Dr. Claire Weeks called second fear. So yes, your nerves can heal themselves, but how are they going to heal themselves as well as they could if you're up there stressing them out 24/7 with obsession? Obsession is stressful to the nervous system. Obsession is what made you sick. Obsession is worry. Worry is obsession. It's the same thing. Worry is second fear. Second fear is worry. Worry is obsession. Obsession is second fear. All these terms mean the same thing. It means that you won't get out of your head worrying about your thoughts, your feelings, and your life. If you would get out of your head and you would start holding yourself accountable for what you do up here instead of worrying about your thoughts, feelings, and life, sorry, I almost choked to death, and actually start to work on that, right? Actually start to put in that work and actually start to work and hold yourself accountable for the obsession that you do over your thoughts, feelings, and life, then yes, your nerves would heal themselves. But you have to do that part. You have to make an effort on that part, and you don't have to be perfect, and you can go at your own pace, and this is a learning experience. I understand all these things, but my main point tonight is you can't afford to obsess. And Kay says, so basically obsession of anything causes sensitization, and these obsessive thoughts are the result of a nervous system. Well, okay, let's break that down into two parts. So obsession of anything can cause sensitization. Yes, absolutely. Your brain is a machine. It doesn't say, oh, well, this topic gets a pass, but this topic doesn't get a pass, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? Obsession about anything can cause sensitization. If it's prolonged negative obsession, sure, it can cause sensitization. And these obsessive thoughts are the result of a state of a tired nervous system. Intrusive thoughts, yes, but all the obsession that you're doing, that's coming from you. When you get up there and you fight with these thoughts instead of just agreeing with them and saying, hey, whatever, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. That's on you. That's the part you got to work on. You got to work on the obsession. No, you can't help the intrusive thoughts. You can't help the feelings. That is the result of a tired nervous system. But the obsession, which Dr. Claire Weeks called second fear, you absolutely must work on, right? Because again, your nervous system is willing to heal itself, but how can it heal itself is every single day you're obsessed about something. Again, it doesn't matter what you're obsessed about. That's the point of tonight's stream. It does not matter what you're obsessed about. You get no free passes. There is no free passes. Any sort of negative, prolonged obsession, right, will tire your nervous system, will hurt your nervous system, especially because you're already sensitized, right? There is a healthy amount of worry you can do, right? But when you're already sensitized, not really. Not really. You want to make that worry as minimal as possible. You want to stop fighting with those thoughts, stop fighting with those feelings, stop fighting with thoughts about your life. You want to cut out as much obsession as possible. It doesn't serve you anyway. It doesn't solve anything anyway. That's my point. It doesn't solve anything anyway, right? So understand that I'm not coming on here and saying, guys, you got to cut out the obsession. I'm trying to take away your best friend. I know it feels like I'm trying to take away your best friend because that's all you're used to doing is obsessing, but it's never served you anyway. It's only made you sick from the very beginning. Why do you want to hang on to this thing? Why do you want to have the ability to run around and worry and fight with every thought, feeling, and everything that happens in your life? Why do you cling to that so hard? I understand you cling to it because it's like your best friend, and I'm trying to take away your best friend here, but it's never served you since day one. It's made you sick, right? It's made you sick since day one. So I understand that it feels like I'm trying to take away something that you are just so in love with. But the very thing that you're in love with, which is you worrying over every thought, every feeling, and everything that happens in your life is what made you sick. is what made you sick. So I understand that you want to cling to this because it's an addiction, it's a habit, but you got to break it. How do you think you got tired in the first place? How do you think your nerves got tired in the first place? Because you obsessed and obsessed and obsessed about everything going on in your life. You get no more free passes. If you want a better life, you've got to create a better life. If you want your nerves to heal, you got to do your part. This is not something that just falls out of the sky and into your lap. You got here because you've got bad habits, and unless you hold yourself accountable and break those bad habits, why do you expect things to change, right? Why do you think things are going to change? If you go outside every single day and you find a brick wall and you smash the shit out of it with your bare fist, and you come inside and you sit on the sofa and you say, you know what, I don't know why my knuckles continue to bleed, I don't know why my knuckles continue to be broken, but then tomorrow you get up and you go out and you punch the same wall from dusk till dawn, why are you coming inside and sitting on the sofa and saying, I don't know why my hand hurts, I don't know why my nerves hurt, I don't know why I'm still here, I don't know why I'm still on this channel, I don't know why I'm still watching the streams, I don't know why I still need the videos, I wonder why. I wonder why, right? It's because you give yourself so many free passes. You give yourself so many free passes. I'm allowed to do the work, but only 5% of the way. I'm allowing myself to do the work, but I'm going to obsess about 90% of the stuff that's going on in my life. There's no free passes, right? Now, I understand, guys. Let me level with you for a second, right? Let me level with you for a second. I understand you're not going to be perfect. I understand you're not perfect. I understand you're a human being, and I understand sometimes you are going to fall down rabbit holes and you're going to obsess over certain thoughts, certain feelings, and certain situations in your life. I get it. But what I'm telling you is you don't have to be perfect to make progress. You can heal those nerves as long as we cut it back. You can heal those nerves as long as you put in an effort, right? You don't get any free passes. I'm taking your free passes away, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to fuck up from time to time. I get that. I am taking your free passes away, and I'm telling you, look, no thought, feeling, or life situations worth obsessing about. Don't follow those thoughts down the rabbit hole. I am taking your free passes away. I will say that. But I'm not going to take away from you the fact that you are going to fuck up from time to time. I get it. And I'm not telling you got to be perfect. I get it, right? But I do want you to have a mentality of no free passes. I do want you to have a mentality of I'm not going to give myself free passes. I'm really going to work on not going down these rabbit holes. I'm really going to work on that non-engagement, right? But I understand that you're going to screw up, and that's acceptable. That's fine. You can still make progress. You can still heal. But I do want you to have the mentality of no more free passes, because all you're doing is you're giving yourself all these free passes, and then you come and watch the streams, you come and watch the videos, you come and watch the channel, and then you turn right around and you say, why am I not getting where I want to go, right? You're not doing the thing you need to do, okay? So the two main keys, just to put a nice little neat bow on this stream, the two main keys are to live your life. So don't sit there in the corner using coping methods and compulsions. Get up, show your brain that all is well, live your life. But while you're doing that, the second main key, you got to stay out of these rabbit holes. So when a thought comes in, you got to say, hey, if it happens, it happens. Maybe. You got to be persistent. You got to say, okay, and it's going to cause feelings, but you got to do it anyway. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Feeling comes in, you want to obsess about it, you catch it, you use that non-engagement inner voice, right? A thought comes in about your life, you got to say, hey, we'll see what happens, instead of going down these rabbit holes of obsession. If you want your nerves to get on board and become healthier and heal, you got to stop taking a sledgehammer to them. Right? You got to stop taking a sledgehammer to them. You're giving yourself too many free passes. So when this stream goes off, I'm going to give you one last example. When this stream goes off tonight, if you're sitting there and you're obsessed about recovery, even if it's about recovery, oh, what am I going to do? How do I, blah, 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 blah. You're giving yourself a free pass and you're getting further away from recovery. You are hurting your nervous system, right? Right? So I think I've said all I need to say tonight. I think I have successfully conveyed how important it is to you guys that you have a mentality of no free passes. Again, I'm not saying you got to be perfect. I'm not trying to say, hey, from this day forward, you can never obsess again. I'm just saying you need to at least try to have the mentality of, look, I don't get any free passes. I need to do this work, right? Okay? So if you did enjoy tonight's stream, guys, please leave a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Man, I hope you guys decide to put in the work. All I've ever wanted to see is you guys heal and you guys recover and you guys really make progress. But, you know, I just got to be honest with you for a second, right? I got to be honest with you for a second. And this is something that people don't want to hear, but I think you need to hear it. I think it's time that you hear it. It's not going to fall in your lap, man. Like, and I'm sorry, I'm going to pat you on the back, a little virtual pat on the back. You got to do it. You got to do the work. You know, if you're going to live the rest of your life obsessed like this and you're not willing to work on your obsession, you're not willing to hold yourself accountable, it's going to be a bumpy road, man. It's going to be a bumpy road. And you know, I hope that something speaks to you eventually. I hope that you do catch a break. I hope that, you know, even if you're not perfect and you don't have to be, I hope that those nerves really start to get on board and you start to heal up, and I hope that you live a very happy and successful life. But I do have to tell you, you know, you see a lot of shit out there, people holding hands and stuff, right? I don't want to hold hands anymore. This isn't a time to hold hands. You know, time's clicking. Life is passing you by, and you're sitting here still doing the obsession. And, man, it's sad because I want to see you get better. I want to see you heal, and I want to see you happy because that's what you deserve. You are all beautiful, amazing people, and you have been nothing but supportive and loving to me in this channel. And, man, I don't want to see you guys slack so much. And I'm not saying you are, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to see you guys just continue to give yourself free passes and not work on this thing, man. I don't want to see life just pass you by day after day, month after month, and year after year, and you're not holding yourself accountable. You're not doing the things that you need to do. You're still just, every thought that comes, you're following it like a dog chasing a stick. Every feeling that comes, you're up in your head like a dog chasing a stick. Every thought that you get about your life, like tonight's stream, you get no free passes, but you still go after it like a dog after a stick. Your nerves are not going to get where you want them to be doing that, right? And I hope that one day you say, look, I got to be honest with myself. Every day I'm still doing like 80% of my day is still obsession, right? If you can admit that here tonight, that is a start. If you can admit that here tonight, then we're going to get you where you need to be, right? Then we're going to get you where you need to be. You're still trying to find solutions, right? You're still trying to find solutions, and you don't realize that you are the solution. You're still trying to find solutions. I need to talk to somebody, you know, every single day about what's wrong with me. You know, go out and talk to somebody, sure, but you got to do the work, right? So many people are reading books and watching videos and watching my streams and whatever. But at the end of the day, when they step out of that office, when they turn the video on, when they shut the book, they're not doing anything up here. They're still obsessing nonstop, right? It's sad to see. It's sad to see because I just want you guys to heal. I want you to get better. I want you to live the life that you deserve to live, but there's got to be some accountability. Nobody can do it for you, right? I can't fix you. I can't fix you. I'm sorry, right? I can't fix you. I know. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. It's hard to hear. It's really hard to hear. I can't fix you. I can't. As much as I want to, I can't fix you. You have to fix you. I can tell you how to do it. I can point you in the right direction. I can be your support system. I can motivate you. I can teach you everything that you need to know. But at the end of the day, I can't fix you, right? I cannot fix you. So difficult to hear, but it's empowering at the same time because you realize that you got to start taking responsibility for your own recovery. You got to partake in your own recovery. You got to play a role in your own recovery because I can't fix you. Nobody can fix you, right? It doesn't matter. You could talk to the most educated person in the world on this subject, the smartest person in the world on this subject, right? And they can tell you what to do. But if you're not doing it, you're not going to get where you want to be, right? And again, guys, I'm not saying that because I feel like being a Debbie Downer tonight. I'm saying that because I want eyes to open. I'm saying that because I want people to become responsible. I'm saying that because I want people to become accountable for their own mental actions and bad habits, right? So I love you guys. You know I love you guys. I love you guys more than life itself. But at the end of the day, you get no free passes. Right? You got to work on this stuff. You got to work on this stuff. You got to use that non-engagement voice. You really got to hold yourself accountable, for what thoughts you're following and fighting with, for what feelings you're following and fighting with, and for what life situations you're following and obsessing about. You really got to hold yourself accountable. So I love you guys. That was the stream for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the love and the support. Let's head into the post stream and hang out with you guys now. Let's see what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, man. I'm happy with that one. So let's see. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit in the chat. We got DC in here. We got Gamer. We got Rambo. What's up, guys? Welcome. My nose is getting itchy all of a sudden. Wow, nice rant today. Wonder Bro, high energy. Maybe you should stream at this time more often. Yeah, I feel like it's a bit more comfortable for me. I've always been more of a night owl. So for me, it's like 9 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock. But thank you for being here, Donkey. Really appreciate it. Gamer, I was the same way. I never thought it would leave. Listen to Wonder Bro, you don't always have to be perfect. And I assure you, it will leave sooner or later. Absolutely. You also had a really good comment. Let me see. Trust me, listen to Wonder Bro. That's how I fully recovered. Absolutely, dude. You got to drop the obsession, man. You have to. At some point, you got to stop mentally fighting with all these thoughts and feelings and anything. Again, the point of tonight's stream is that you get no free passes. You get no free passes. It doesn't matter what you're obsessed about. If you do prolonged negative obsession about any topic, you are hurting your nervous system. You get no free passes. If you really want to heal your nerves and if you really want to make progress, you've got to work on the amount of negative obsession you are doing in your head, and you got to start to develop that non-engagement inner voice, right? That accepting inner voice instead. What is up, Sarah? Damn, I only caught the last few minutes. It's okay. It'll be uploaded. What's up, Letty? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. DC says, biggest realization I made was that no one is coming to save me. They're not, right? They're not. And realizing that there's nothing to be saved from. Absolutely. Live life and allow everything. I love it, dude. I love it. Thank you for the positivity tonight, DC. That was an excellent comment, man. Excellent comment. Wonder Bro, spitting today. It was a good stream, man. I'm happy with it. I am happy with it. I've been rock solid today, Wonder Bro. Some serious mental work. I love it, dude. I love it. Keep at it. You know, and that's really was the whole point behind my little spill there. Oh, sorry, that's disgusting. I feel like I threw up in my mouth. That was really the point of my entire little spill there. Is you know, I don't try to say those things because I'm trying to discourage people. That's absolutely the last thing I want to do. I say those things because eyes need to be opened. Eyes need to be opened because, let's face it, guys, the facts, at the end of the day, the facts are this. We can get on here and we can hold hands and we can spread positivity. And we do. We spread positivity all the time. But if we don't have some serious conversations from time to time where we say, look, this isn't going to change itself. You know, you need to work on it, man. If we don't have these serious conversations, we're just going to run in circles. And who wants to be here running in circles, right? I love you guys, and I know you guys love me, but who wants to be here running in circles day after day? You guys want to see progress, right? You guys want to see the progress. Let's face it, that's why you were here to begin with. That's why you're here to begin with. But the progress only comes to those who are willing to take accountability and stop pointing fingers. The progress only comes to those who are willing to say, man, you're right, I still do a ton of obsession. Right? I'm telling you, the progress that you wish to see is not going to come unless you're first willing to say, hey, look, he's right, I do a ton of obsession. And then you're willing to say, also, I'm going to start working on cutting back on that. I'm going to start working on that inner voice. And when these thoughts, feelings, and, you know, anytime I'm tempted to obsess about anything and everything, I'm going to remind myself it's not worth it, right? And I'm going to continue living my life. So progress only comes to those who are willing to admit everything that I just said, right? Hey, everyone. What is up, Rich? And I know that's a difficult conversation to have, but it's a conversation we have to have at certain times, right? Every now and then it's very beneficial for us to come together on the channel and say, look, I know we joke around a lot here. I know we laugh a lot. We have a lot of good times and a lot of good laughs on the channel, but we got to get serious for a second, right? So I like having streams like this every now and then because at the end of the day, man, you're not here because you like me. Right, I mean, you are, don't get me wrong, but you're here because you want to see results, right? Let's be honest. You're here because you want to progress. You're here because you want to heal. So if we want to accomplish your main goal, we got to start holding ourselves accountable, right? We have to. We have to. I've had periods where I desensitized and thoughts went away on its own. I can't even explain it. It's like I was arguing with a ghost. But when they come back, they seem so real again. They will seem real, and they do have a massive effect because they come in and you got a tired nervous system, so they cause all these feelings, and they seem very real. You can't help any of that. You can only help what you do with that, whether or not you get into the obsession, so forth and so on. So you can't help they feel real. You can't help how intense they are. You can't help how intense the feelings are. You can't help any of that stuff, guys. That's completely out of our hands, right? It's out of our hands. We can't do anything about that. You can only work on the solution, and the solution is to not follow all of these things like the feelings and the thoughts with obsession. I'm allowing myself to feel like I live in another world, all these weird mental symptoms, and feel like I don't care about all these things the old me did. This is me right now, and that's fine. I'll be back. Yes, this is me right now, and that's fine. I will be back. And you're dropping obsession past that point. There is no obsession past that point. That is what's going to heal your nerves. If the only thing that you guys remember from this stream tonight is that obsession equals tired nerves, worry equals tired nerves, whichever term suits you best. Worry, obsession, same, still the same thing. If all that you remember from tonight's stream is that worry equals tired nerves, okay, well then we're getting somewhere. You're starting to connect the dots, right? You're starting to connect the dots here, and that's great. You're starting to make realizations. For all sensitized people, I want you to realize that people that were watching streams months ago are not watching anymore. That is because they were cured and way less sensitized. Wonder Bro is the real deal. Appreciate that, Rambo. Thank you, dude. Yeah, we're constantly fluctuating, new people in and out, right? And it's bittersweet because you get to know these people, but then they leave the nest and they go on and they live their life and they're happy. So it is bittersweet, but you are absolutely correct. But thank you guys, man, so much for tonight's stream. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. We are on an 11-day streak. If anybody wants to support the stream, the link is in the description. Get your name up on the board and a message. But other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. I am open to questions now. If you guys have any questions, I'm done ranting, I promise. What is it, like 40 minutes, and I've been nonstop ranting. I am done ranting. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to drop those questions. I will do my best to answer them for you. Other than that, though, good stream tonight, guys. I hope it was an eye-opener. I hope you guys take responsibility and accountability because at the end of the day, all I've ever wanted was to see you progress. All I've ever wanted is to help people and see people heal, right? So I hope it was an eye-opener. I don't only get anxiety feelings with my thoughts, I also get weird emotions that come with thoughts. Exaggerated emotion is a part of anxiety, right? So it's more or less the same thing. Instead of obsessing about it, I've accepted it. Yeah, so a big part of sensitization is exaggerated emotion. You are absolutely correct there. And you're doing the right thing. If you're saying that you're accepting the exaggerated emotion and you're not adding obsession, then you are absolutely 110% doing the right thing. And I am proud of you, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. But other than that, guys, yeah, questions, feel free to ask them. What have you guys been up to, man? Fill me in. How was your day today? What did you do? Talk to me, chat. Talk to me. Let me know how you've been. I'm gonna step away for just a minute and get something to drink here, and then we will be right back. So give me just a second. All right, we are back. What is up, beautiful people? I'll be watching a funny movie instead of laughing, and instead of laughing at something, I'll get a sad feeling instead. So weird, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You summed it up with that last part. If you were to obsess about that, for example, gamer, if you were to ask yourself, oh, why is this happening? And instead of just chalking it up as those tired nerves, something that you can't do anything about, because you can't, right? You can't do anything about that experience. If you were to tack on obsession of that and go down the rabbit hole, you would only hurt your nerves, right? You wouldn't gain anything from that. At some point, people have to realize that there's nothing to gain from obsession, aka second fear, right? At some point, you've got to come to that firm realization, and just like the title of this stream says, give yourself no free passes. Something I get stuck and don't know how to accept the physical feelings that come with anxiety. How do I keep the second fear from taking over? Holding yourself accountable for what you tell yourself in those moments when those physical feelings are there. Hold yourself accountable for what you tell yourself and start to work on what you tell yourself when those physical feelings are there. You have to work on it even if it doesn't feel believable, right? You got to lay the groundwork. You got to lay the foundation. It's all about that accepting non-engagement inner voice. Letty, I hope that helps. Did I miss any questions while I was gone there for a second? I don't think so. I think we're good. Part of what makes it hard for not only myself, but I'm sure many others, is that they think their symptoms are so weird and that they're a special case, right? And that's a big reason why I do these streams and videos, to make you realize that, look, at some point the obsession's got to stop. You're normal, you're here, you're growing, you're healing. Been through everything you are explaining, it goes away. Yep. I just woke up, gonna go to the gym in a little bit. How was your day, Chris? Hope you have a good day at the gym, Ghost. My day was pretty good, dude. It was pretty good. I put together that shed yesterday, and I was outside kind of reorganizing everything, like my workbench and stuff, so that was fun. For sure, Rambo, what's funny is I went through a severe case of sensitization years ago. I don't remember all of it, but this one has been 10 times worse. Could be, right? And probably is. But the solution remains the same. You come as a student, we send you out into the world as a teacher. Spoken to Annie Sullivan by her professor before she goes to work with young Helen Keller. That's you, Wonder Rose, sending out anxiety teachers. Appreciate that, Rick. Thank you so much. Rich, not Rick, sorry. I think it's worse, though, because this time I actually gained true acceptance. I'm able to conquer everything in my life. It's going to pay off for you in many, many big ways, dude, but you have to do your part, right? You have to do your part. Do sensitization ever make you extremely emotional for ridiculous reasons? Absolutely. Irregular emotions and exaggerated emotion is just a key cornerstone of sensitization. Yep. Sometimes I'd be extremely sad over dumb stuff or just emotional in general. Yes, absolutely. The urge to engage in obsession is so tempting. It's like being an alcoholic and being at a party. It is. It's like being a heroin addict, right? But your mind is strong enough to do it regardless of how challenging. Trust me, guys, I am not taking away from you how tempting obsession is. I know it's like one of the most tempting things in the world. I mean, I literally just did a stream like 3 or 4 days ago on how it's basically an addiction. It is an addiction. So I absolutely agree with you, I absolutely agree with you. It's some of the most tempting, addicting shit in the world. But regardless of that, the solution is still the same. That is great to hear, Chris. Appreciate it, Ghost. I'm late. What's up, Craig? Better late than never, right? Big takeaway. What's up, Rick? Big takeaway. Obsession about anything is not healthy for your nerves. Anything, dude. Doesn't matter what it is. When I started to stop obsessing about anxiety, I started obsessing about work, and that kept me sensitized. I have to let go. Yeah, dude. Doesn't matter. And that was the whole point of tonight's stream, Rick. Your and I talk really was a good bit of motivation for this. Obsession about any topic, Rick. Right? The whole point of stream tonight, obsession about any topic is not good for your nerves. Basically, a simple way to remember that is, whichever word you want to use, worry or obsession, worry equals tired nerves. Obsession equals tired nerves, right? So it doesn't matter what the worry is about. If Craig is worried about how tired he is, if Rick is worried about something in his life, if Kay is worried about her emotions, it doesn't matter. Worry equals continued tired nerves. That's one way you could put it. Worry equals continued tired nerves. There you go. It doesn't matter what your worry is about. Doesn't matter. Your brain literally doesn't care. It doesn't make a difference to your brain. If you're worried about something, tired nerves. Doesn't matter what it's about. Could be about your emotions, could be about your life, could be about how tired you are. If you're worried about something, it equals tired nerves. Worry equals tired nerves. If that's all you take away from this stream, it's a good realization to make, because hopefully you can then start to work on it with that accepting inner voice, that non-engagement inner voice. When you're tempted to worry, you give yourself that non-engagement statement. Hey, it is what it is. Maybe if it happens, it happens. Whatever you want to tell yourself, and you try to stay out of that obsession. That is going to be the fundamental key aspect to recovery, right? What's up, Mia? Hopefully everything I just said already answered that question for you. It's something you just got to practice, something you got to work towards. When I try to avoid obsession by not entertaining, sometimes it gets to the point where it causes a headache. Have you guys experienced that too? Well, you're not trying really hard to make anything go away. So you're not trying really hard to make any thoughts go away or any feelings go away. You're just reminding yourself, hey, it is what it is. And you're doing it gently. You're doing it casually. You're not trying really hard. You're just saying, hey, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. It is, maybe, whatever. You're not like tensing up and saying, oh, go away. Try really hard not to obsess. Just gently, hey, I'm going to stick to my non-engagement inner voice here, right? You're not doing it in a worked up fashion. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. It can make you feel really vulnerable when you don't obsess. It can make you feel very vulnerable, because for so long that's been your go-to, right? Hey, Addie, I want to say thank you so much for the $10 tip, man. I appreciate you. First tip of the night, guys. We are on an 11-day streak. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. If you want to support the stream, link is in the description. 11-day streak, man. First tip of the stream. Thank you so much, dude. Do you want a message on the board? Let me know. You didn't send in a tip note. That's okay. But if you want a message on the board, let me know and I'll put it up there. But for now, I will at least include your name and tip amount. So thank you so much for that, dude. I really appreciate it. Hey, get some purple hearts in the chat, guys. Thank you so much. We should always show love and gratitude to our tippers, man. They help us keep the show on the road. There you go. All your glory, all your praise. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you for the $10 tip. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It did, thank you. I just want to know when this will end. Well, that's obsession, right? That's obsession, and that's what's keeping it from not ending, is when you obsess about anything. Again, obsession equals tired nerves. If you're obsessed about when it'll end, still obsession. If you're obsessed about recovery, still obsession. If you're obsessed about why your emotions are the way that they are, still obsession. If you're obsessed about your life, still obsession. If you're obsessed about anything, and you're not just using that non-engagement voice and living your life, two keys, right? Obsession equals tired nerves. So you get no free passes, which is really what this stream tonight was about. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to fuck up. You're allowed to fuck up and still make progress. It just means that you should really have the mentality of nothing is worth obsessing about and try to work on that non-engagement inner voice. You're going to have to build it, guys. It's not going to build itself, right? Your habit of obsession is way up here. Your habit of non-engagement inner voice is way down here. And that's where everybody starts. That's okay. But you're going to have to flip-flop that eventually if you want to make progress. Your habit of obsession, that's way up here, the addiction, has got to come way down here, and your habit of the non-engaged and accepting inner voice has to come way up here. They've got to be reversed, right? And that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen on its own. Any obsession is hurting your nerves, right? And I don't say that to make you paranoid, because like I said, you don't have to be perfect. You can cut back. You don't have to be perfect to make progress. You can make progress even if you're not perfect. But any sort of prolonged negative obsession is hurting you. It's not helping you, right? So you really gotta hold yourself responsible and accountable. You really gotta hold yourself responsible and accountable, right? So, for example, I love Mr. Craig. Me and Mr. Craig go way back. As he is sitting here and he is obsessing about, is my brain broken? Is his nerves going to be any better off, or are they just going to get worse and they're just going to be more tired, right? Of course, they're just going to continue to stay tired, because as he is sitting here and obsessing about, is my brain broken? He's just telling his brain, oh, there's a problem here, and now his nerves are going to take a hit. His nerves are going to take a hit, right? And if he continues to do that for the rest of the night, they're going to continue to take hits. But he needs to have some responsibility and accountability. He needs to say, hey, non-engagement voice, it is what it is. I'm not going to obsess about whether my brain is broke or not, because that's what's keeping me where I'm at. That's what's hurting my nerves, right? So just an example, and I wouldn't use Mr. Craig as an example if him and I weren't such close friends, but we are. He doesn't care. I promise. When I get that thought of when will this go away or when will I recover, I tell myself in the future, it is what it is. It is what it is. You guys got to hold yourself accountable. You can't hope and pray for a miracle. You can't hope and pray to be healed and not partake in your own recovery. To not partake in your own recovery is like shooting yourself in the foot. How can you possibly hope and pray for recovery but not partake in your own recovery? Right? It just doesn't make sense. You got to hold yourself accountable. And I know it's easier said than done, guys. And like I've said a million times in the stream already, I know you're not going to be perfect. You're allowed to fuck up. You're absolutely allowed to fuck up. You can still make progress even if you do fuck up. But you've got to at some point start to work on it. You've got to at some point put a little bit of effort into non-obsession. You got to at some point make that effort. If you don't partake in your own healing, who's going to, right? Nobody's coming to save you. There's not a ship that's on the way. You've got to be your own life raft. You've got to be your own hand, right? You've got to be your own helping hand. Somebody here has got to do something, and it's got to be you, because nobody can control what goes on inside of your brain. So as you're sitting up there and you're fighting with all your thoughts and feelings and you're not trying to use that non-engagement inner voice, that accepting inner voice, that's on you. That's on you. If I could do it for you, I absolutely would. If I could do it for you, you bet your ass I absolutely would. But I can't, right? I can't. I simply can't. So, it's one of those things, man. You really got to work on it. You really got to work on it. And I know it seems like, I already feel so tired. I know, but think of it this way. You exert more energy into obsession. You just don't realize it because it's such a habit. You exert more energy into obsession than you will if you work on the non-engagement inner voice and not obsessing. You put just as much energy into your obsession. You just don't realize it. You just don't see it. But that's why you're so tired, because your nerves are tired and they've taken a beating, and you put just as much energy into your bad habits, and if you put the same amount of energy into your good habits, you're going to get somewhere. I promise you, you're going to get somewhere. So from this day forward, if you try to make it a point to do a little less obsession, I'm not asking for perfection, but from this day forward, if you make it a point to just do a little bit less obsession with your non-engagement inner voice and live your life, you will make progress. I promise. Right? So I'm not asking, I know it sounds like I'm asking you to move a mountain, but I'm just asking you to start working on building better habits, and they will add up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, right? Rich, hey, Rich, thank you so much, dude, for the $20 tip. It looks like we might actually hit our tip goal tonight and move on to a 12-day streak. Thank you so much. We're only 20 short on the tip goal, guys. Link is in the description if you'd like to support the stream. Rick, thank you, or not Rick, Rich. Sorry, I always get those two names mixed up. It's the two R's, I think, the double R's. Rich with the $20 tip. Show him some love in the chat, please, because let's be honest, they help support the stream. If we don't show our tippers some love and gratitude, what are we doing, right? Rich, thank you so much for the $20 tip. Says Wonder Bro Yoda for the world of anxiety. Appreciate you, dude. If you want a message up on the board, just let me know, but I'm going to go ahead and put your name. Thank you so much for the $20 tip, Rich. I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you, thank you. Like I said, guys, our tippers help us be here, so we should show them some love in the chat. You gotta start working on what you tell yourself, Mia, and everybody else in chat. That's what's gonna help you break obsession, is what you tell yourself instead of fighting with those thoughts and feelings. You gotta work on it, man. You don't have to be perfect. I keep saying it because I don't want anyone to feel paranoid. You don't have to be perfect to make progress. You just gotta start working on it. I have the allowing part. Hold on, hold the phone, Rick. There we go with the R's, man. The Rich and the Rick and the Rick and Rick. Rick, thank you so much for the $10 tip, dude. Let's get your name up on the board. We are only 10 away from tip goal, guys. We are only 10 away from tip goal. Thank you so much, man. You are officially up on the board. 10 away from a 12-day streak. Appreciate it, guys. There you go. All the credit to these lovely people right here. I'm so glad I got this thing, man. It's really funny when people put funny messages and shit up there, but more than that, I'm really glad that we can just give our tippers some more credit, because they deserve all the credit in the world. So there you go. You were up on the board. Chris looks like he is 7 feet tall. I am definitely not 7 feet tall. I am like 6'3", I think. DC! Hey, I promise I'm going to get to your comments, man, but people are going crazy right now. DC, thank you so much for the $10 tip, guys. You know what that means. We're moving on to a 12-day streak, man. Blow the comments up with the purple hearts. Blow the comments up. Thank you so much, dude. I'm going to put you up on the board. I got to get a new mic, man. This thing just is, it's got mind of its own. DC, dude, thank you so much for the $10 tip. That takes us to tip goal, man. Appreciate it, guys. We're moving on to a 12-day streak. 12 days, man. Thank you guys so much. DC's tip note says you are your own hero. Save yourself. Absolutely. I can teach you how to do it, but then you got to implement it, right? You guys are going to get there, man. You're going to get there. Mia, Craig, everybody in chat who's feeling a little down tonight, everybody in chat who's doubting themselves, all I'm asking out of you, I'm not asking you to move a mountain, and I know it feels like I am, but all I'm asking out of you is after this stream goes off, try your best to cut back on your obsession. Use that accepting inner voice instead. Start laying bricks, man. We got to lay a foundation at some point. You don't have to be perfect, and I'm only asking for like 5%, and then we'll go from there, right? Can we do that? Then we'll go from there. That's all I'm asking. Let's see. I have the allowing part down very good. I have not had a panic attack, in 2 weeks. Anxious as way down, but now I have a pesky brain fog and feel distant sometimes. Any tip? Again, no free passes. Try your best not to engage in obsession on how you feel. Use that accepting inner voice and live your life. That is the 2 keys. You don't have to be perfect at that. Just put in some effort. Try to build that habit, Luis. There is nothing, Luis or Lewis, I'm not sure. There is nothing. Oh, that was a gross burp. There's nothing stopping you but you. Let's start working on it, right? Facts, Wonder Bro. That's one of the things that helps me stay out of the fight. It takes just as much energy to fight this shit than it does to stay out of it. Either you stay stuck or get out. Your choice. Dude, I wish I could pin that comment. If I could, I would definitely pin it because that is so true, man. That is so true. Let's see. I feel you on the fear of panic, Mia. That's a tough one. You got to face them, though. That's what I've been doing. And work on what you tell yourself during, right? Dr. Claire Weeks, accepting inner voice. You don't even have to believe you're accepting inner voice. As long as it's helping you not add obsession, it's working. So who cares if you believe it or not? Just start working on building that accepting inner voice. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter because it's still serving the same purpose, which is helping you drop obsession. So it doesn't matter if you quote-unquote believe it 100% or not. I am adopting my wife's son, my ex-wife's son. That is interesting. Hey, man, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, dude. Keep us updated. Hey, Wonder Bro, keep me out of that tonight. I'm feeling like I'm on top of a mountain today. I've been killing it today. Dude, keep going, man. Keep going. Keep going. When panic comes, tell yourself, I need this to feel this. Let it pass. Yeah. And even if you don't believe those words, I need this, just let myself feel this. As long as you're using an accepting non-engagement inner voice, you are still cutting out on obsession. So it's still serving its purpose. So who cares if you believe it or not? You got to start building it anyway. Donkey, thank you for showing love for the tippers. Rick, thank you for showing love for the tippers. Mia, thank you. Letty, thank you for showing love to the tippers. Appreciate you guys. Has anyone been so bad like how I feel now and actually got back to work and stuff? Anxiety can't stop you from doing anything, right? So technically, yeah, there's plenty of people that feel bad and they still get on with it. But while you're getting on with it, which is half of the equation, live your life, right? Go at your own pace. You don't have to jump right back into work, whatever. But as you're getting on with it and living your life, you must do some work up here. You gotta stop attaching so much obsession to every thought, feeling, and situation. You got to develop that non-engagement, accepting inner voice. Even if it doesn't feel like it's working, it's not supposed to feel like it's working. You still got to cut the obsession anyway. You still got to work on the obsession anyway, regardless. All right, you guys. All right, man. We just passed our 1 hour mark. I feel like this stream has just been packed, dude. We've been talking the whole time. This is a lot of good information tonight, a lot of good stuff, guys. Thank you for the tip goal. Thank you for the comments, the positivity. Thank you for the beautiful questions, man. They really help. They help educate other people. Sometimes you got a question that just answers a bunch of people's questions, right? So thank you guys for everything, man. It has been an awesome, nonstop packed stream tonight. I really appreciate it, guys. Check me out over on TikTok. I try to make I've been making TikToks pretty regularly. We've been growing pretty crazy over there. So Vacate Fear, man, check me out on TikTok. I got all that good stuff, social media. You can always find me under Vacate Fear. Other than that, guys, you got a couple seconds left to hit that like button to support the streams, help get this message out to other people who may need it, right? Luis with the last minute, just barely beat the buzzer. Luis or Lewis, I'm not sure which, coming in with the $10 dip, says, thanks for all the videos and content. Thank you so much, dude. We're going to go ahead and add that real quick. Man, that was a buzzer beater. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. Open your eyes tonight and realize that you need to start working on your inner voice, your non-engagement voice. Stop fighting with those thoughts, feelings, and like we said tonight, any anything. No free passes. Nothing is worth obsessing about. Nothing is worth obsessing about. Obsession equals tired nerves. You don't have to be perfect. Give me like 5% and then we'll go from there. You can make progress even if you're not perfect, even if you're just giving me 5% at the start, and then we'll work from there. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are awesome. I hope you live happy, healthy lives, and I'll see you again here soon. Until next time, as always, throw that thumbs up. I love you. Stay awesome. Actually, hello again. Actually, who wants to hear the song? I know a lot of you guys are new here. We've had a lot of new people recently, but who wants to hear the song? If you've been here for a while, you know what I mean when I say the song, okay? So let's get that up. Let's get that going. So for those of you who don't know, we used to have a particular song, the one that I'm about to play, that we would listen to after every stream. And we haven't done that in a while. So we're going to get that going for you guys. We're going to listen to the song, okay? And then we'll get started. I had more questions. Mia, join us over on the Discord. We have hit our time here on the stream. Let me drop, if you want to, you don't have to, but let me drop the Discord link here. You can toss a DM in the chat or whatever. Let me get that for you. But also, I want to say this. Even if you do decide to join us on the Discord because you have more questions, there's really no question that hasn't been answered. If you're willing to do your part on the mental with the non-engagement inner voice, thoughts and feelings, situations come in, you notice that you want to obsess, but instead you tell yourself, hey, if that bad thing happens, it happens, or maybe, or who cares? You use that non-engagement inner voice instead of doing the obsession, and you continue living your life, you're going to be okay. You're going to make progress. There's really no more questions you need to ask outside of that. If you're willing to do that, you'll get where you need to be. That's a promise, right? But if you do have more questions, there's the Discord link. Anyway, let's get our song going. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die, yeah. Did it die. Did it die. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die. Wait. Did it die. Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. Wait, did it die? Wait, did it die? I'm a stone cold